Good morning, everybody. Dr. John Asplund. Happy New Year. This is the first time I'm coming to you from the year 2021. Still here in my office. It is Friday, January 8th, 2021, and we are moving towards our in-person learning phase of the school year, finally, hopefully. And you can see I have a piece of paper here because we have been getting some questions from parents about some different things. So we put in basically the most common questions we've been getting. I thought maybe a lot of other people had the same questions, so this would be a chance for me to answer maybe a lot of people's questions that they have been asking that maybe they still aren't sure on. So I'm going to read some of these here. What hours will my child be in-person learning? Well, basically it's in the afternoon. It's late morning, early afternoon, and we're doing it that way for a couple reasons. One, our teachers that were part of helping me figure out how to get the schedule together, we're really adamant that we still want to have that morning login time for students so that there's still that normalcy of what they're used to now of getting on in the morning and logging into their class. And for those students that are going to be coming in, when they come in, whether late morning, early afternoon, depending on the school, the in-person learning part of that is really more for individual instruction. It's not like they're going to be sitting and getting new information in class. This is going to be more for them to get individual help from the teacher, to do some intervention work for kids who may need to see an interventionist, or for our EL services, special education services, things like that. But more specific information will be coming out next week. What if my child is remaining in remote learning? Will their schedule be changed? Yes and no. I mean, we're changing the schedule a little bit, but in terms of them still getting on in the morning and being expected to engage with their teacher as much as they can in the morning, and then some more throughout the day, it won't change a lot. So for those kids that are staying in remote learning, their schedule will largely remain the same. And as we've talked to other districts, one of the things that we've learned from a lot of other districts is that they felt like the kids that were online were the ones that were losing out. And so we wanted to make sure that anything that we did, we kept those kids online at the front of our mind, because at any one time, 70% of our kids are still going to be online. So we want to make sure that we are focusing on the fact that we still have a large number of students that are online. So when the students come in to the buildings, once again, that's for individual assistance. Those kids that are online can still get individual assistance. It'll just have to be with appointments that they make with their teacher on office hours. When can I see the schedule? That will be next week sometime. And the reason it takes this long is so we had to first find out who was going to want to come back. We got that information, then we had to start putting them into groups so that we had, even as much as we could, even numbers of groups in each class, so that we didn't have really large classes, so that we could safely distance students in the classroom. But that also meant then if we had families who had students in 2 or 3 different buildings, we had to make sure all those students stayed in the same day. So it's a really lot more involved process than maybe it would seem. And it took a very long time to get those groups together because of that. We also had special education needs, things like that had to be sorted into that whole system as well. So it's taken a lot of man hours to try to get those schedules and those groups of students in one list. So we have that now, and so now we're working on transportation. And so once we get the transportation worked out, we want to be able to communicate with parents to be able to say, this is when your child will be at school, and also this is when your child will be picked up from a bus and when they would be dropped off. So we want to be able to give you all the information at one time, but that will be sometime next week. So how will you be notified? Because that's another question on here. What day will my children be in person learning, and how will I be notified? So it will be on your parent portal for Skyward. And so if you go in and check your parent portal right now, it's not there. We'll send you a notification when it is there. And then you'll be able to go in and check it. We're also going to follow that up with a letter to parents to give them step-by-step instructions for how to access parent access if they've never done it. So we want to make sure that everybody has an equal chance to know when that's coming out. So that will be sometime next week. And then how will the COVID rates, how will the Knox Warren County COVID positivity rates affect in-person instruction? The main factor we're looking at now is how many staff we have in quarantine or isolation. And right now the number is, I believe, 15. So in a staff of 325 teachers and another 37 aides and another 14 custodians and another 7 maintenance workers and 6 food service workers, we have 15 is a big number, but it's not huge when you consider the percentage of our staff. So, you know, that's manageable. If the numbers continue to go up, it's going to be a little less manageable. I will tell you folks out there that, you know, the hospital beds in town are shrinking. You know, we don't have a lot of availability. The infection rates are starting to go back up. That's a really big concern for us, obviously. And we're putting in all the measures we can to keep everybody safe once they do come back to school. There is no hard and fast number, but we are looking at, you know, individual circumstances. So I believe I mentioned in a video before that it could be very much individualized. So if your child's in third grade and their parent, or I'm sorry, their teacher is home on quarantine, we're going to call you and say, you know what, your child's just going to stay home today. But if you're an 8th grade student at Churchill and your English teacher is not able to be there, but your science teacher and your English and your history teacher and your math teacher, they're there, well, we'll probably tell you to come in, and then we'll figure out what to do about the English part. So, you know, every situation is a little bit different. You know, we're going to try to roll this out. We're going to talk at the board meeting on Monday night about the date of the 19th. That may not be achievable. We're still very much working towards that date to make that work. There are a lot of issues that still need to be worked out to make sure that we're ready for that, and to make sure that parents have enough notification time to make plans to be able to get their child to school to start the week of the 19th. That's still our goal, but please be aware we may push that back a week. You know, we may push back 2 weeks. It depends on a lot of different factors. We are getting notified that at some point in the near future, vaccines will start getting rolled out, and we'll be able to have our staff be vaccinated. We don't know a date yet on that, but that vaccination period takes a month. You have to take one shot, and then you have to wait 3 or 4 weeks, and then you have to take another shot. And so once we get all the staff vaccinated, we still know our students aren't vaccinated. So we're looking at this plan of how we're going to do in-person instruction is going to be for 3rd term. And then 4th term, you know, we're still holding out hope that maybe we can have everybody back. But we're going to deal with the facts as they come to us, because, you know, everything's evolving every day, and we're going to deal with those as they come. So those are the big questions we've been getting. So I'll go over those again real quick. In terms of next week, we hope to be notifying you on when your child will be coming to school, whether it be Monday, Tuesday, or Thursday, Friday. It will be late morning, early afternoon, regardless of what day. That's when the in-person instruction will be happening. It will be for 3 hours. We're also going to be revising food service times and locations, so that's going to be part of this notification as well. It's going to be in your parent access. We're going to send you a notification when it comes to let you know that you can check. And then we're always available on the home learning at galesburg205.org web email address. So if you have other questions, please send them there. That's where we're compiling these questions and trying to get you the best information we can. So once again, this is the best information we have right now. We'll be updating you when we have new information, and really happy to be able to be back here talking to you. And if I don't have another update prior to that, I'll definitely have another one next Friday. So for today, Friday, January 8th, 2021, Dr. John Asplund.